caller stating the party still has a needle in his arm.
She's already received 1 dose of Narcan.
It's going to be overdose, police-administered Narcan. Can you start me ALS?
The nation's opioid epidemic continues to wreak havoc on communities coast to coast, including right here in the capital city. So just how serious is the crisis in Hartford? I met up with one local expert at Polk Park in the Frog Hollow neighborhood to find out for myself.
Alright, so you can see where we're right.
Meet Peter Canning, veteran paramedic, blogger,
And the heroin bags are all over.
and vital champion in Hartford's war on opioid addiction.
And waited for the Narcan to work. So there have been quite a number of overdoses.
Polk Park, which links the Frog Hollow and Parkville neighborhoods, has become a poster child of addiction's grip on the city.
Got a male party, syringes around him. Classes at Warden Park.
So you can see that the bags are all over the place.
Just walking through the park on a weekday morning, it didn't take long to spot the evidence, one baggie at a time.
This appeals to some people, I guess.
Littering the ground in many areas, the telltale after-product of a user's latest fix. They're hard to miss, and something which Canning used to overlook. That is, until his curiosity finally got the best of him.
The other thing that I think is important...
After witnessing so many overdoses firsthand, Canning decided to take matters into his own hands. How did he do it?
Rolex, this has been around for...
He started by just simply looking at the ground.
The comeback, the Reaper...
Unique brand names and flashy artwork are only a couple of the important pieces of a larger puzzle Canning has been constructing to actually track the varying strains of opioids like heroin.
84 people died of heroin overdoses in Hartford last year.
911, what's the nature of your emergency?
84 deaths, which, according to the most recent figures, places Hartford well ahead of the state's next closest contenders. So what could be behind this alarming lethal uptick?
In recent years, the number of deaths has escalated, and that's largely been attributable to fentanyl.
Fentanyl, which, according to Canning, a single batch of averages 50 to 100 times stronger than just heroin. The result? Users who might think they're consuming only heroin are in many cases getting a harsh surprise.
So now a bag with fentanyl, there may not be any heroin in it at all. It may only be, 5 or 10% pure fentanyl.
But these amounts, while deceptively small at first glance, may still cause a fatal overdose. Still a skeptic? The shocking statewide trend speaks for itself.
But the problem with fentanyl is because it doesn't mix well, a user could get a bag that has a much more potent amount and can cause them to overdose.
The other possible victims of this epidemic, young children just out playing at the park.
I found bags with Miss Kitty, Kermit the Frog, Foghorn Leghorn, Casper the Friendly Ghost on it.
These seemingly innocent sketches of cartoon characters, potential bait to perhaps the most vulnerable population of all.
A kid playing here in Hartford looks down, sees something on the ground, even something as innocent as a wildcat, picks it up. It's got powder in it. It could be sugar.
Sugar? Hardly. Canning warns that even leftover residue from a baggie may be potent enough for a child to overdose on.
Look at it, and might be still some powder in it.
But leaving behind residue may be the last worry on the minds of some users willing to take whatever risk necessary for the next high.
For an overdose, possible heroin, party's turning purple.
In some cases they're using dirty needles, they're in unclean environments, and they're shooting up there.
But aside from the obvious fallout, the stamps, bags, and dangerous residues, can anything locally be done to help better protect both users and the public?
So what some countries have done, and which I think Hartford should consider, is having a safe injection site.
A site where an addict could use under the close watch of a trained professional. The ultimate goal? To reduce deaths while keeping dirty needles like these out of places like Polk Park.
My doctor gave me the pills, and the next thing
But for this advocate, it's all about what drove his quest for answers in the first place.
People lose their homes, their families, and in many cases, 84 times last year, they lost their lives in this city.
So for now, the answers will continue to be sought, one bag and stamp at a time. In Hartford's Polk Park, Sean Freeman.